let's talk about something. It's a story that starts with just one single computer part. But trust me, it ends up affecting your wallet, the phone in your pocket, and even the car you drive. So imagine this. You're building a computer, a pretty common hobby, and you go to buy a standard 64 gigabyte memory kit. You look at the price tag and you see this, $650. And your first thought is probably, whoa, wait a minute, that can't be right. But here's where it gets really wild. Just a few months ago, this exact same product wasn't $650. It was $209. That's not just a little inflation. That's an absolutely insane price jump for the very same item. Yeah, something is definitely up. Now, I know what you might be thinking. Okay, that's a bummer for tech enthusiasts, but that's a niche problem, right? Wrong. What we're seeing here is just the first tiny ripple in a much, much bigger pond. This is a warning sign for literally everybody. And look, it's already hitting the little guys hard. This quote from Libre Computer says it all. They make these small, affordable computers. But think about this for a second. One tiny memory module now costs more than the processor, the circuit board, and everything else on their computer combined. How are you supposed to stay in business like that? You just can't. And this isn't just one or two companies having a bad quarter. This thing is snowballing into a global problem. Raspberry Pi, the backbone of so many DIY projects and classrooms, they're being forced to jack up their prices. Micron, a huge name in memory, is straight up pulling their entire consumer brand, Crucial, off the market. And get this, even a giant like Samsung is reportedly struggling to find enough memory for their own phones. It's a full-blown crisis, from the bottom to the very top. So if you're thinking, well, I don't build PCs, so I'm safe, think again. This problem is jumping containment. Any modern gadget with memory in it is on the chopping block. We're talking your digital camera, your tablet, your PlayStation, your Xbox. If it's got a chip in it, it's in the crosshairs. Which brings us to the billion-dollar question. What in the world is powerful enough to just suck up the entire global supply of such a basic, essential tech component? This isn't a factory fire or some shipping crisis. No, this is something way bigger. And the answer is one thing. The AI boom. That massive global scramble to build enormous data centers to power all this new AI stuff, well, it's incredibly thirsty. It's consuming all the available hardware, leaving just the scraps for the rest of us. And look, the way it works is pretty simple and pretty brutal if you're a regular consumer. You've got just a handful of big companies that actually make the world's memory chips. They've done the math and realized they can make billions, with a B, more by selling their best stuff to the AI industry. So what do you think they're going to do? They're shifting all their focus to those giant, juicy AI contracts, and the production lines for us, they're getting neglected or in some cases just shut down completely. Okay, so there's this idea floating around, this little glimmer of hope, right? People are thinking, hey, remember after the dot-com bubble burst, all that used server gear flooded the market and you could get it for dirt cheap? Maybe that'll happen again. Yeah, about that. It's a nice thought, but this time, it's completely different. The specialized hardware being built for this AI boom is not going to end up in your next gaming PC. Not a chance. And there are some very real technical reasons for that. First off, this AI gear uses a special kind of memory called HBM. It's physically different. It literally won't fit in a normal computer. A lot of the time, it's just soldered right onto the main chip anyway, so you can't remove it. And the power and cooling these things need, it's industrial grade. We're talking stuff that needs its own dedicated power infrastructure, not something you just plug into the wall next to your TV. So, all of this leads us to a brand new and, frankly, kind of unsettling concept, the AI tax. Now, this isn't a tax from the government. It's a hidden cost that's going to be baked into nearly every piece of tech you buy, from phones to cars to medical equipment, all because the AI industry is gobbling up the parts. We're all going to pay it, whether we actually use AI or not. And let's be crystal clear, this isn't like the great toilet paper shortage, okay? That was a temporary panic. This is a deep, fundamental shift in the entire market. When you have a giant company like Lenovo basically admitting they're hoarding components now just to try and keep laptop prices from going totally insane later, you know this is the new reality. And that hoarding, of course, just makes the shortage worse for everybody else. It's a vicious cycle. Which leaves us with a really tough question, doesn't it? We keep hearing that AI is the future, that it's going to change the world. But if building that future means that the affordable, accessible tech that fuels our hobbies, our creativity, and small businesses all becomes a luxury item, is that really a price we're all willing to pay for progress? It's definitely something to think about.